Hello, my name's Marc Sibbald. I'm the editor at Fleet News Group, and this is one of our regular podcast episodes. But we're talking to Shaun Janks from DingGo in this episode because DingGo are a sponsor of our Fleet News Group award programs. So I wanted to talk to Shaun and find out more about why they're involved, why they decided to get involved, and what they see as excellence, well, the importance of excellence. But before I get into it and before I introduce Shaun, I want to remind you that we've been doing these podcasts for several years now. So we talk to industry leaders all the time, and fleet management is changing, it's evolving. So if you want to go back and listen to some of the episodes, you can find them on Spotify and on YouTube. And you can always learn more about fleet management from any of our websites. We have three of them: Fleet EV News, Fleet Auto News, and Fleet HV News. And we also have a quarterly magazine. So if you still like that print, that tactile, make sure you message us to get on the mailing list or pick up a copy at one of our industry events that we partner with. So that's enough of the propaganda. Shaun, thanks for joining me today.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
Mate, I'm excellent. And just wanted to say thank you to you and the team at DingGo for being a sponsor of the awards. When I pitched this concept, you guys were one of the first ones to really grab it and say, yes, we want to be a part of that. Um, Before we get into the reason why, can you tell me a little bit, or tell the audience a little bit about DingGo and what you guys do?
Of course. So we are a technology company in the accident management space. So think of anyone who's looking to get their car repaired, fleet or otherwise. We're trying to find a solution to make repairing your car easy. So we've been operating in the Australian New Zealand market for about 7 or 8 years now, innovating and delivering a number of different products to the industry. We're probably most well known for our accident management solutions, our digital driven accident management solutions.
Yeah, fantastic. So if I'm running a fleet and accidents happen, right? So you guys, you handle it from end to end. But the thing that we've talked about several times is it's digitized. So all the data's recorded and all the data, like I suppose having data, we talk so much about data and AI and everything today, but having that digitized and data, that's one of the main benefits you offer, isn't it? It's not on paper. It's easy to find. It's easy to sort. It's easy to identify risks and future and identify costs. That's is that the main one of the main
Yeah,
selling points?
absolutely. So I guess our real target to getting into the industry was how do we deliver this best customer experience and how do we deliver a digital first customer experience? If you think of the process of fixing your car, it's probably one of the last to go through that internet revolution or that digital revolution of things. So we built a central platform for fleets, insurers, repairers, assessors, towing, replacement vehicles, the whole gambit of everyone involved in the smash space to all connect through one centralized platform. What that did was it transferred all these like disconnected piece of information. Think emails, think sometimes that quote from a panel beater on the back of a handkerchief, right? Like that the fleet manager or the driver picks up and sort of transcribes in an email to his or her boss, who then tries to deal with the repair. So we took all these transactions and put them through one centralized digital platform. And in doing that, we did a number of things. Firstly, we gave accountability to all the different suppliers along the value chain, but we also started feeding insights and data back to fleets because now we had everything captured. Think average repair cost, days off road. Do I have a good insurer? Am I using a good repair network? Am I paying fair prices? What about my drivers? Is my driver behavior safe? Is it not safe? And then what we're able to do is give benchmarks, right? And I think this is really where we started transforming more than just the data, but the so what with the data. Like, how does my
Mm.
fleet compare to other fleets? How do my drivers compare? Like, how do my vehicle damages compare? Is there anywhere we need to improve? And by having those benchmarks and using the data to give those benchmarks, we could actually give tangible insights to fleets for where they need to improve, how they could save costs, how they could make safer drivers, and really just deliver much better business outcomes across the board. So that's
Yeah.
what we've been relentlessly focused on, Mark, for many years.
And that's amazing. Like you mentioned the key word there, benchmarks. I talk to a lot of fleets about that, but without the digitization, it's very hard to measure. So that's fantastic. And I can hear the passion come out when you're talking about it there. It's not just it sounds it's not just a business. It's providing a solution to the industry, which it seems like you and the team are very passionate about.
Absolutely. I'm a data nerd at my core, and I think many of us here are. We're just, yeah, passionate about it. It's amazing what the numbers can tell you because they don't lie. That's why I
Yeah,
always liked about mathematics. It's
right. Okay.
just
There's
as
no
easy.
emotions in it. You don't have to worry about
Yeah,
emotions.
yeah,
It's all rational thinking. So you mentioned that the industry was very paper-based, and now you've digitized it. So it sounds like you're striving for excellence in that space. So from your customers, what sort of improvements have you seen? When customers, when they've come on board and you've helped them understand how data can improve decision making and can provide more information to allow them to become sort of improve their level of fleet management maturity.
yeah. Well, I think one of the early surprises I had in this space was just how many customers didn't know the basics. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. They just had no way, like the average fleet manager had no way to know their costs, like their true costs, like where are we
Mm,
spending money across
mm,
the whole repair cycle, because so much of it wasn't being captured. So just giving insights, right? To like, did you know you actually are spending, I don't know, $1 million a year on car repairs, on hire cars, on the whole everything along the value chain of repairing your car? And like, wow, we didn't actually know that. All we got was the data from our insurer, which told, in the case of many fleets, 50% of the story, right? Not the whole thing. And
mm.
in big fleets who are self-insured, they might be missing big pieces of information. So step one was give visibility to what's going on, right? Because so many companies didn't even have a baseline. And then from the baseline, it's like, all right, give someone a baseline. Now, how can we improve that along the way? And how does my business, as I mentioned before, compare to another business? So we've done things, days off road, repair network. I'll tell you a typical one, which I think is anecdotal that a lot of fleets will understand is we've
Yeah.
always used repairer A and B. We've had great relationships with them. They do great work for us. Why would we go elsewhere? It's like, do
Mm.
you know if you're getting fair and reasonable prices? Well, they've been looking after us. Why wouldn't they? Well, have you tested the market? No, because it's just too hard. We don't know who to trust. We don't know how to find another repairer. So we would have a baseline and would say, okay, let's introduce a few more repairers into the mix. And having a digital platform, we're able to easily allocate jobs to any repairers, local to those particular drivers. And then we could start testing. And it was crazy just how quickly realized how we showed companies how in some cases these great repairers who are very loyal to them, but have had no, market pressures, no economic pressures against them because they've had customers for life,
Yeah.
haven't had their pricing tested. And in many cases, it wasn't uncommon to see a 20% reduction in repair costs
Wow.
almost instantly from just creating a bit of competitive tension. And it wasn't about getting rid of the old repairers, it was just about holding them accountable to say,
Mm,
like, we
mm.
now know what things cost. You need to, we love you, we love your work. You just need to now keep with the times of pricing and costing. So that's one
Yeah.
of the very quick fixes that we've given for a lot of companies.
Well, you mentioned before that you're a bit of a data nerd. I'm a fleet management nerd, and you mentioned
Okay.
like several things in there that talk about fleet excellence. You talked about establishing a baseline. You talk about testing the market, working with suppliers, um, and like all those things seem like. Have you seen your clients improve? Like when you bring them on board, you must see an improvement in the way they manage, like in the maturity or the way they approach this sort of part of their business.
Definitely. And Mark, I love the fleet managers that jump on the tools.
Yeah.
We love the feedback. It's like, oh, you built this, and then they would tell us, have you thought about this? We're like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's add it in. And a week later, we've now added in a new feature because being a software that we own and developed in-house, every bit of customer feedback continuously improves for all. So
Yeah.
I love the engaged fleet manager. And I guess we form great partnerships because we can create excellent feedback to one another to help their businesses. So the more they use the data, the more they push us, and then the better their performances get. So yes, those engaged fleet managers, we see a lot of improvements across the board. Reduction in incidents, reduction in repair costs. What's some of the ones we had lately? Hey, we're looking at different insurers. Can you give us a bit of insights into which insurers are approving claims faster and things like that? And
Which
we're
goes to
working with the
downtime,
yeah,
having vehicles
exactly.
off the road
Downtime.
a shorter
Like that's one
period.
of the
It's
key. Yes, exactly.
yeah,
That's one of the key metrics we look at is vehicle
yeah,
downtime, like days off road, repair days, and having a big supplier base of repairers. It's always about how do we allocate to repairers that need the work today, because repairer A might be empty today and repairer B might be busy. And if you only ever send to repairer B, you're going to have more downtime. But if you can utilize repairer A in those particular weeks that repairer B is busy, you're tapping into unused capacity in the marketplace. And that's what our software does well. And then the more we can work with our fleet managers to really show them the power of, like, not just our platform, but the giving them the ability to harness their own curiosity, right? Like these guys want, or girls or ladies, I should say, and men, they want to improve their organizations. And so you give them the tools to do it and they go crazy, like in a good way. And I love that. Yeah.
It sounds like they're all candidates for the Fleet of the Year award, and we have several categories like Fleet Technology Award, which using your technology to make these improvements. Fleet Sustainability, if they're reducing repair times or reducing repair costs, there's a financial sustainability in that angle. What else? What's the other award? Safe Fleet Award, if they're reducing incidents through your software. So it sounds like everything we're trying to recognize and acknowledge and sort of reward in the awards program can be done with the DingGo software.
Absolutely. And that's why when you first approached us and said, hey, we're considering these awards, what do you think, DingGo? We said, go for it. Because it was a simple answer for us, which was yes. And the reason for everything you just listed now, and like to go one step further, so many fleets are trying to solve very similar problems, right? Like each business is unique, but there's a lot of similar problems. Like show me a fleet that doesn't want to improve their days off road, right? Like or their downtime. Show me a fleet that doesn't want to reduce their costs. Yeah. So you're seeing, we have the pleasure of working with so many different fleets. So we see these great individuals out there solving these problems, which are really like, they're relevant for the whole industry. So that's why we love working with them, because we can lift the tide of the entire industry. So this awards recognizes those individuals. And, when I was talking to our account management team, like straight away, they listed a whole number of different individuals, said these people, these companies are great. And they're pushing our software to its limits, and they're pushing their businesses to their limits of excellence. So we get to observe it. And, it gives us our greatest pleasure to nominate any of these individuals, or a whole number of them, for these reasons, because I guess our incentives are aligned. We love seeing people using our software. So we'd love to just support this industry and watch others lift the tide of the whole industry and showing others what best practices looks like.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'd like to thank you very much on behalf of the Fleet News Group team. And we're recording this podcast just as the nominations are closing. So by the time it goes live and people are listening to it, it will be in the voting period. And this is the other interesting thing we're doing differently in Fleet News is the industry gets to vote. So we'll be sharing the stories of the finalists. We'll be presenting case studies, and hopefully there'll be fleet nerds and data nerds just like you and me, and people will read them and they'll be actually voting for the people they think are doing a great job as well.
Fantastic. I know I will be, Mark, and we should be getting around everyone that's doing great things in our industry. It makes us all better.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, I can't wait till we get to October when we're announcing the winners of the awards program. And so, thank you, DingGo, and the team, yourself, and the team for being involved and being a sponsor and making this this happen. Really, thank you for taking the time to talk with me about it today too.
Most welcome, Mark. It's a pleasure to be associated with Fleet Auto News. So, looking forward to a long partnership. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. I was talking to Shaun Janks, co-founder of DingGo. Now, if you've got issues with your accident management, or you don't know anything about the accidents or the damage in your fleet, reach out to the team at DingGo and have a chat to them and just see what they can show you. See how they can help you become a potential candidate or a potential nomination for the Fleet News Group Awards. If you're looking for more stories, more information on fleet, if you are a fleet nerd like me, don't forget to check out any of our 3 websites, our quarterly magazine, and also on LinkedIn. You can find us there as well. So thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Fleet News Group podcast.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Shaun.